Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Queensborough Community College's annual Honors Convocation. I'm Dr. Karen Steele, Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it is my pleasure and honor to serve as Master of Ceremonies at this important event. To begin, please allow me to introduce the college administrators, faculty, and sponsors comprising the stage party for tonight's awards event. I would ask you please to hold your applause until I've introduced all of them. Our interim president, Dr. Diane Bova-Call. Oh, yes, clap for the president and then wait for the rest. Our Vice President for Student Affairs, Ms. Ellen Hardigan. Vice President for Institutional Advancement, Ms. Rosemary Zins. Vice President for Finance and Administration, Ms. Sherry Newcomb. Dean for Human Resources and Labor Relations, Ms. Liza Larios. Associate Dean for Student Affairs, Dr. Paul Jean-Pierre. Associate Dean for Academic and Institutional Research, Dr. Paul Marchese. This one is such a long title, but it's got it here. Dr. Arthur Cordetti, who is Associate Dean for Accreditation Assessment and Institutional Effectiveness. Ms. Michelle Cuomo, who is Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Okay, we have Dr. Sharon Lal-Ramnarine, who is the chair of the Academic Senate Awards Committee, for Awards and Scholarships Committee. Dr. Jeffrey Kernett, who is the chairperson of Basic Educational Skills. You're Ms. Catani. This is Ms. Virginia Catani, who is an award sponsor. Thank you. Dr. Young Kim, who is the chairperson of the Health, Physical Education, and Dance Department. Dr. Irmgard Karl, who is an award sponsor and former Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and professor in chemistry. Dr. Sasan Karimi, who is the chair of the Department of Chemistry. Dr. Jean Galvin, who is the chief librarian. Mr. Ben Frieri, who is the head of Services for Students with Disabilities. Dr. Jonas Fallock, chairperson of business. Now, it's Carmona, Professor Carmona from the biology department. Professor Stuart Asser, chairperson of Electrical and Computer Engineering Technology department. Professor Dr. Antonella Ansani, who is the chairperson of the Foreign Languages and Literatures Department. Dr. Ernest Hart, who is administrative assistant in the Office of Academic Affairs. Dr. Margot Edlin, who is faculty fellow in the Office of Academic Affairs. Way over there, let's see, that is Mr. Arthur Perkins, who is Assistant Dean for Facilities and an architect. Ms. Denise Ward, who is the Dean for Continuing Education and Workforce Development. This is a long list, isn't it? Okay, let's see. I'll start from this end because I can see this end better. This is Professor Emeriti Emerita Meredith Young, who is an award sponsor. Professor Lisa Yonker from the Speech and Communication and Theater Arts Department. Dr. James Valentino, Chairperson of Mechanical Engineering, Technology, and Design Drafting Department. Dr. Hilmar Vizoni, Chairperson of the History Department. Dr. Paris Svaronas, Honors Program in PTK and a few other things. Dr. Howard Sporn from the Mathematics and Computer Science Department, who just announced today wonderful awards for math students at Queensborough. Oh, yes. Dr. Julia Rothenberg from the Social Sciences Department. Professor Bob Rogers, Chairperson of Art and Design. Dr. Kip Montgomery, Chairperson of Music. Let me see. Oh, Professor Anne-Marie Menendez, Chairperson of Nursing. That's Bill Marsh, right? Okay, that's Dr. Bill Marsh in English. Is that it? Is there somebody? Oh, she's over there. She doesn't have a hat, so I didn't. Cheryl Levine, and she's the president of the Queensborough Alumni Association. For all of our sponsors, a very special thanks to you for choosing Queensborough Community College, for your support, for making this event happen, and for helping our students reach greater heights. And a very gracious thank you to the administrative staff who worked very hard on this program, especially Carol Imant, Millie Conti, Olga Salamanca, Tim Hillis, Bonnie Cook, and the tutors of the Student Learning Center. It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium, for the purpose of making welcoming remarks, our interim president, Dr. Diane Call.
Thank you, Dr. Steele. Good evening. It's so wonderful to have all of you here with us to celebrate our wonderful students who are here receiving honors across the disciplines. This is an annual event for us, and it's a very special one. We have 15,000 students or so who attend here. What you see here on the stage and members of our Honor Society represent the very best students. And as you can see, they're a very select group of students, and I congratulate them on all their accomplishments. Our students are, we believe, extraordinarily special. Their road to academic success is not always easy, but they persist. It's an incredible characteristic of our students, their determination, and the other characteristics they share: extraordinary faculty, among the best, I believe, in the country, and I'm sure they appreciate the support of their faculty as mentors and teachers. They also probably share friends and family who are very supportive, and I want to thank, on behalf of our students, each and every one of you who has made their journey a little bit easier. But make no mistake, they've earned this on their own, definitely. This evening celebrates a number of things. Often I meet students in this very auditorium when they first begin. And so it's kind of fitting that one of their last stops on their journey to graduation, one hopes, is back in this theater to be honored. Community colleges, such as Queensborough, provide an extraordinary opportunity. For some students, it's with the goal of going on to university. For others, it's going on to the world of work. We offer both pathways, and we offer what we believe to be an extraordinarily personalized experience and support services for our students. Several years ago, we began a concept of freshman academies, and we have 6 of them. You'll see the banners on the side. It's getting to the point now where I'm sure many of our students began in fall 2009 as members of the academy. How many of you began in one of our 6 academies? Yes? Okay, you're barreling along, which is really great. Our intent there was to make sure that students had a good experience and succeeded. We are a very special institution for a number of reasons. We've been recognized for our freshman academies and for the success of our faculty and students by the American Association of Colleges and Universities and the MetLife Foundation. Last summer, we were named a leadership institution in supporting community college success and graduation. We're one of 12 colleges in the United States to receive that honor, and there are over 1,200 community colleges. So clearly, this is an extraordinarily talented institution, and it's populated by some of the best students we'll ever see. Community colleges are very important in the United States, and over 45% of the students attending college in the United States attend a community college. We're very significant in making sure that people have access to education and an opportunity for a better life. College is a very different world. To be successful, one must be disciplined and determined. And as you'll meet each of our award winners, you'll know that they have demonstrated extraordinary academic ability, personal discipline, and determination. I want you to please join in congratulating them as a group before we meet them individually. And I'd also like to add my thanks to the sponsors of this evening's awards, our friends, our alums, who've been so special and been so supportive. So I thank you for coming and joining in this great celebration, and I hope you'll enjoy meeting each one of our incredible students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Call. We'll now move ahead with the conferring of departmental and special individual awards, honors, and Dean Cuomo will announce the conferring of departmental awards.
Thank you, Dr. Steele. I'm honored to be here on this joyous occasion. Honorees, when you come up to accept your award, please stand in front until all the awards from each department are conferred, so we can have a moment to take your picture and to celebrate you. Please take your time coming up. Please come up along the sides and just take your time. Professor Bob Rogers, Chair of the Art and Design Department, will present the department's Excellence in Art Award to Hannah Huang and Reiko Omai. Congratulations to you both. Dr. Jeffrey Kernett, Chair of the Basic Educational Skills Department, will present the Basic Educational Skills Award to Jean Nixon Bertrand. He's not here yet. Well, congratulations to John Nixon Bertrand. We'll hear more from him. He's received many awards today. Dr. Naidu Carmona will present the Department of Biological Science and Geology Awards. The award for excellence in the biological sciences is presented to Natalia Willock. The Dr. Tracy Gaines Jeffries Health Sciences Award is presented to Yang Meng. The Dr. Edith Lee and Herbert Schnall Endowed Scholarship is presented to Elena Santos. Congratulations to the Biological Sciences Department award recipients. The next awards are related to the Department of Business. We'll have two different presenters, but we ask that all awardees stand until we've recognized all the business department. The Queens County Chapter International Association of Administrative Professional Awards will be presented by Ms. Virginia Catani, sponsor of the award. The Queens County Chapter International Association of Administrative Professionals Award to an outstanding business student in the Office of Administration and Technology program is awarded to Beulah Holly Logan. The Department of Business Awards will be conferred by Dr. Jonas Valek, Chair of the Department. The Department of Business Award for Academic Excellence in Accounting is presented to Jean Nixon Bertrand. The Department of Business Award for Academic Excellence in Business Administration Transfer Program is presented to Andre Sims. The Department of Business Award for Academic Excellence in Management is presented to Thea Valerie. The Academic Excellence in Office Administration and Technology is presented to Mandeep Kaur. The Harry Berlin Award is awarded to Mario Del Moral. The Doris Katz Memorial Scholarship Award to an outstanding graduating accounting student who has achieved academic success in English 101 and 102, Speech 211, Social Sciences, and History electives is presented to Princess de Malabat. The Helen Krisman Memorial Award is presented to Mandeep Kaur. The Henry Winkler Scholarship Award is presented to Michael Lanizieri. The Ava Bobro Alumni Award to a graduating business student in an Associate in Applied Science degree program is presented to Paul Lewis for accounting, Yi Chiu for business administration transfer program, and Michael McDonald for computer information systems. The New York State Society of Certified Public Accountants Award to a graduating student with the highest grade point average in accounting courses is presented to Jean Nixon Bertrand. The Roberta Rosenbaum Memorial Scholarship Award to an outstanding and persevering female student in a business program who has been an active member of the community is awarded to Mubina Nawaz. The Michael Elliott Schwartz Memorial Certificate Award for Community Service by a business student is presented to Ilya Barabadza. The Dr. Sidney J. White Memorial Scholarship Award for the outstanding student in the Business Administration Transfer Program is presented to Manuchka Leandra. Congratulations to all the Business Department Award recipients. The next awards that will be presented will be Department of Chemistry Awards. Again, there will be several presenters. I invite all chemistry students to stay up front until we've bestowed all chemistry awards. The Irmgard F. Carl Award for Excellence in Introductory College Chemistry is being presented by Dr. Carl herself, who is Professor Emerita of Chemistry and former Associate Dean of Academic Affairs. The Irmgard F. Carl Award is presented to Daniel Novova. Dr. Paris Voronos, Professor of Chemistry, will present the Paris Voronos Scholarship Awards. This year's recipients are May Mayat Mo and Fatima Nazmuddin. The Department of Chemistry Awards will be presented by Dr. Sasan Karimi, Chair of the Department. The Anatole Mankat Scholarship Awards are presented to Kevin Chavez and Marjorie Morales. The Rose Mankat Memorial Award is presented to Sharda Jagdeo. The Dr. Jamie Lee Rizzo Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Research is presented to Sharon Ramati. The Professor Frank S. Rudo Awards for Excellence in Chemistry and the Environment are presented to Samantha Dantzler and Genesis Florentino. The Dr. Edward Sarlo Award for Excellence in Organic Chemistry is presented to Jong-Yun Kim. The Belvedere Mankat Awards for Excellence in Undergraduate Research are presented to Esder An, Mario Balducci, Julia Borode, Susan Budo, Rebecca Cho, Sharda Jagdeo, Mariam Jaliz, Brianna Kane, Daniel Lafori, May Mayat Mo, Fatima Moslimani, Fatima Nazumuddin, Stephanie Salar-Books, Andre Smithson, Engred Vanegas, Esder Yang, Xiao Mei Ye. The Walter Zozelin Memorial Award for Excellence in General and Organic Chemistry is presented to Jong-Yun Kim. Congratulations to the Department of Chemistry Award recipients. Okay. You can go. The Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering Technology Awards will be presented by Professor Stuart Asser, Chair of the Department. The ECET Department Awards are presented to Jeremy Lorenzi and John Min Yi. The Joseph P. Idala Memorial Award in recognition of academic achievement and service to the department is presented to Dane Burkett. The Miro Brumnak Memorial Award in recognition of academic achievement and service to the department is presented to Sanjay Thakur. The Martin J. Horowitz Memorial Award in recognition of academic excellence and service to the department is presented to Mikhail Galilov. The Foreign Student Scholarship Award is presented to Sanjay Thakur. The Professor Gabriel Kosoro Award in recognition of excellence in the ETCT curricula is presented to Jose Ramirez. The Professor Louis Nashaleski Award in recognition of excellence in the ETCT telecommunications technology or new media curricula is presented to Anne-Marie Chaudhary. The Pasquale Severese Award in recognition of excellence in the area of ET is presented to Eric Haskins and Mariam Wadud. Congratulations to the ECET Department Award recipients. Thank you. The Department of English Awards will be presented by Dr. William Marsh, Assistant Professor of English. The Dr. Arnold Azrelski Awards for Academic Excellence by an Evening Student are presented to Anya Andrews, Cicely Scott, and Julius Su. The Robert D. Crozier Memorial Awards for Outstanding Achievement in Literature and Writing are presented to Esler Ahn, David Buckner, Tatiana Kovarina, and Charles Lester. The Sheena Gillespie Awards are presented to Danny DuPont and Rosalind Joshua. The Hetty Jacobowitz Memorial Awards for Outstanding Journalism, Nonfiction Writing are presented to Cassandra Moore, Julie Na, Sarah Nakvi Sophia Petsas, and Sayed Shah. Sarah Navgi and Sophia Petsas, and Sayed Shah. The Marcia V. Kites Awards for Outstanding Achievement in Literature and Writing are presented to Daisy Mendez, Samantha Svezia, and Amanda Courage. The Carolyn B. Raphael Awards for students who started by taking an ESL class are presented to Jay Bai, Jinsu Lee, and Wendon Lee. The Herbert Seitz Awards are presented to Larissa Mendez and Jasmine Tavares. The Smithline Truffman Awards for Outstanding Achievement in Literature and Writing are presented to Michelle Drozdick and Cassandra Taylor. The Linda Stanley Award is presented to Henry Sigale. The Harold Stollerman Award for Excellence in English are presented to Agogo Okrokoto, Allison Rivera, and Shuaib Udin. The Meredith Young Scholarship Endowments are presented to Linda Atencia and Vor Clark. We thank Dr. Meredith Young, Professor Emerita, Basic Educational Skills, and Mr. Morton Young for the sponsorship of this award and their longstanding continued support of the college. Congratulations to the Department of English Honors Award recipients. The Department of Foreign Language and Literatures Awards are presented by Dr. Antonella Ansani, Chair of the Department. The Departmental Award for Excellence in Chinese is presented to Leila Fezulaglu. The Departmental Award for Excellence in French is presented to Luis Rodrigo Bolanos. The Departmental Award for Excellence in German is presented to Hogan Leverman. The Departmental Award for Excellence in Hebrew is presented to Kenny Ayala. The Departmental Award for Excellence in Italian is presented to Veronica Monti. The Departmental Award for Excellence in Spanish is presented to Andre Sims. Congratulations to the Foreign Languages and Literature Award recipients. The Department of Health, Physical Education, and Dance Awards will be presented by Dr. Young Kim, Chair of the Department. The Outstanding Athlete Awards are presented to Gerale Middleton, Jesse Friedman, and Donnell Lockhart. The Scholar Athletes Awards are presented to Robbins Biename, Jonathan Castillo, Lisa Kerner, and Jasmine Perez. The Joanne Blumen Scholar Athlete Award is presented to Robbins Biename. The Carol J. Bozick Sportsmanship and Humanitarian Award is presented to Alicia Barrow. The Frank Egan Service Leadership Participation Award is presented to Dominique Williams. The Mary Jean Erario Scholarship is presented to Sandy Requeno. The Evelyn Carlin Award is presented to Marieka Pierre. The Robert F. Kennedy Award is presented to Lisa Kerner. The Muriel Mannings Award is presented to Selena Campbell. The Steve Weingard Scholar Athlete Award is presented to Nuteda Getgavipak. Congratulations to the Health, Physical Education, and Dance Award recipients. The Department of History Award will be presented by Dr. Gilmar Vizzoni, Chair of the Department. The John W. Manigault Memorial Award is presented to Monique Argento. Congratulations to Monique. The Department of Mathematics and Computer Sciences Awards will be presented by Dr. Howard Sporn, Assistant Professor of Mathematics and Computer Sciences. The Sidney Arick Memorial Award is presented to Huiwani Botehu. The Alan Barnes Award is presented to Mingshu Sun. The Anthony Baer Award is presented to Orbin Brown. The Sondra Farber Memorial Award is presented to Lynn Han. The Bert Kleinman Award is presented to Andre Smithson. Congratulations to the Mathematics and Computer Science Award recipients. The Department of Mechanical Engineering Technology and Design Drafting Awards will be presented by Dr. James Valentino, Chair of the Department. The Cade Architecture Award for Outstanding Achievement in Architectural Design is presented to Diana Martinez. The Clive M. Hart Award for Excellence in Mechanical Engineering Technology is presented to Y. Nang. The Harold E. Levinson Award for Excellence in Design Drafting is presented to Lawrence Lee. Congratulations to the Mechanical Engineering Technology and Design Drafting Award recipients. Thank you. The Department of Music Awards will be presented by Dr. Kip Montgomery, Chair of the Department. The Chorus Program Award is presented to Kathleen Wickman. The Concert Program Award is presented to Pascual Araujo. The Julius Poman Memorial Scholarship is presented to Jonathan Palmiotti. The Tatiana Schwarzblatt Memorial Award is presented to Liliana Pardo. Congratulations to the Music Award recipients. The Department of Nursing Awards will be presented by Professor Anne-Marie Menendez, Chair of the Department. The Alumni Association Ruth Blumenthal Awards are presented to Drumini Patel, Tricia Mayorga, and Andrea Mercado. The Alumni Association Bernadette Robo Awards are presented to Konstantin Cheka, Olga Goldworm, and Mariella Colasso. The Alumni Humanity Awards are presented to Carolina Duke, Andres Echevarri, and Stravina Thomas Kirksey. The Irene M. Batista Award is presented to Linda Saar. The Eva Bobro Nursing Scholarship Endowments are presented to Kathleen O'Connell and Pasquale Pasculo. The Roseanne Dykert Memorial Awards are presented to Christine Chang and Cami Mohan. The Dorothy Eastham Award is presented to Abby Wohl. The Mary Ellen Matthews Memorial Nursing Scholarship Endowments are presented to Lachmi Cipriana and Shannon James. The Helen G. Muller Award is presented to Thomas Ansey. The Nursing Department Awards are presented to Amanda Thinnison and Kathleen O'Connell. The Student Nurses Association Award is presented to Amanda Thinnison. The Professor Mary Zimmerman Memorial Scholarships are presented to George Fontania and Shazia Khan. The Raoul Wallenberg Scholarship Award is presented to Jean-Charles Rousselande. Congratulations to the Nursing Award recipients. Thank you. The Department of Physics Awards will be presented by Dr. Paul Marchese, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Institutional Advancement and Professor of Physics. The Harry Schneider Award for Excellence in Physics is presented to Su Zhang. The Harry Schneider Award for Excellence in Astronomy is presented to Mina Shin. Congratulations. The Department of Social Sciences Awards will be presented by Dr. Julia Rothenberg, Assistant Professor of Social Sciences. Chun Shik Hong Memorial Scholarships are presented to Pamela D'Amato and Yun Fan. The Neftali Levi Memorial Scholarship Award is presented to Teresa Lihak. The Mary M. McDougall Memorial Award is presented to Mario Del Moral and Lynn Hahn. The John Orth Riedel Memorial Award is presented to Elma Rahman. And the Vincent E. Smith Memorial Scholarship is also presented to Elma Rahman. Congratulations to the Social Sciences Award recipients. The Department of Speech, Communication, and Theater Arts Awards will be presented by Professor Lisa Yonker, Assistant Professor of Speech, Communication, and Theater Arts. The Speech, Communication, and Theater Arts Department Service Awards are presented to Julian Lee and Mariam Urish. The Beverly Lockwood Award for Acting is presented to Philip Sabina. Congratulations to the Speech, Communication, and Theater Arts recipients. The Department of Student Affairs Awards will be presented by Dr. Sharon Lal Ramnarine, Associate Professor of Chemistry. The Ray Ricketts Memorial Award is presented to Kathleen Fortune. Congratulations, Kathleen. And congratulations to all recipients of departmental awards. I would like to introduce Dr. Arthur Cordetti, Dean of Academic Affairs, to the podium, who will announce the conferral of the special awards.
The Alumni Awards will be presented by Ms. Cheryl Levine, President of the QCC Alumni Association. Once again, I invite all Alumni Award recipients to remain standing until all awards have been conferred. The Alumni Incentive Awards to students are presented to students who are working parents and who have achieved academic excellence, and they are presented to Margaret Atanaga, Robin Wills, Shaman Gooding, and Jeremy Niland. The QCC Alumni Association Award in Social Sciences are presented to Antonio Rosado for education and Marcia Planes for criminal justice. Congratulations to the Alumni Award recipients. You got one? Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Dr. Paul Jean-Pierre, Associate Dean of Student Affairs, will present the QCC Women's Club Student Awards. This year, they are presented to Leilani Blira Kessler, Vor Clark, and Sarah Levine. Congratulations to the recipients. Mr. Ben-Ami Fryer, Director of the Office of Services for Students with Disabilities, will present the next awards on behalf of his office. The Sidney Halper Memorial Scholarship Award was established by a former homebound counselor to honor the memory of his father and is given annually to a student with disabilities who exhibits outstanding leadership, community service, or scholarship. This year, the award is presented to Giselle Nunez. The Services for Students with Disabilities Department Awards are presented in recognition of a student's persistence and outstanding self-advocacy for the achievement of academic success. This year, the awards are presented to Scott Heimowitz and Tara Pinero. Congratulations to the Students for Services with Disabilities Award recipients. Congratulations. The Service Learning Awards will be presented by Ms. Michelle Cuomo, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. The 2011 Service Learning Award is presented to Devindra Persod. The Service Learning Leadership Award is presented to Luann Satina. Congratulations to the Service Learning Award recipients. The All-USA Academic Team Award is presented by Dr. Paris Severanos, advisor to the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and Honors Program. The award, sponsored by the Honor Society, USA Today, and the American Association of Community Colleges, recognizes the academic excellence and scholarly achievement. This year, the recipients are Kathleen Capagrasso Brown. The 2011 Honors Scholars Program recipients have achieved a 3.4 GPA or higher and accumulated 12 honors credits. This year, the recipients are Esther An, Ilya Barabadze, Roland Bergia, Kevin Chavez, Rebecca Cho, Bobby Glavan, Mariam Jaliz, Nadia Lam, Daniel Lafori, May Mayat Mo, Marjorie Maradas, Fatima Nazamuddin, Andre Smithson, Ingrid Vanegas, Esther Yang, Ricky Lowe, Mike Dye, Andre Sims, and Julia Borode. Congratulations to all the honors scholars. And congratulations again to all recipients of special awards. I am now pleased to introduce Dr. Paul Marchese, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, for the purpose of recognizing students who have been named to honor societies.
Ladies and gentlemen, initiation into a recognized honor society or special recognition group is based on demonstrated and sustained achievement and represent the highest recognitions available. It is my pleasure to recognize students who have been inducted into these various groups during the 2009-2010 academic year. Would the students who were named this year in Who's Who Among Students in American Junior Colleges please stand up? Students inducted into the Phi Theta Kappa, please stand. Congratulations. Students inducted this year into membership in the Beta Eta chapter of the Alpha Sigma Lambda, the National Evening Honor Society, please stand. Congratulations. Students inducted into the Psi Beta Honor Society for Psychology, please stand. Congratulations. Students inducted into the Kappa Delta Pi Honor Society, please stand. Students inducted into the Psi chapter of the Alpha Beta Gamma National Business Honor Society, please stand. Congratulations. We would also like to acknowledge the students who participated in the Federal Reserve Challenge Team this year. The Federal Reserve Challenge Team is recognized for their efforts in a nationwide competition sponsored by the Regional Federal Reserve Office. The region competed in a national final competition last fall in Washington, D.C., and our team distinguished itself there. Team members, please stand and be recognized. Would the mentors of these students please stand? Congratulations to the Honor Society recipients and the members of the Federal Reserve Challenge Team.
As this evening's program concludes, I'd like to invite all of you to join us, all the awards winners and guests, to join us out front of the building for a reception. And now I'm going to invite Ms. Madeline Posner to the podium. She's going to lead us in singing the college's alma mater, accompanied by the James Eck Quartet, after which the stage party will proceed from the auditorium. Please rise for the singing of the alma mater and remain in your seats afterwards for us to process. Thank you.
Far beyond Manhattan's clatter stands a hilltop crowned, where a queen alma mater overlooks the sound. Queensboro, Queensboro, we will always sing your praise. Come what may of joy or sorrow, remember college days. Born of city, state, and borough, proud to serve their need. all of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Why not take all of me? Thank you. Thank you very much.